It should be any. Can you hear me?
I can.
Welcome to the Roy Varney Hornet Classic. We are just getting underway. We've missed, I think, the first couple racers take off. I'm Isaiah Davis here with Eben Shaw.
Good morning.
Morning. Exciting day. Now you, there we have a racer taking off right now. Actually,
they're taking off at 15-second intervals, if I understand this correctly, and I believe that was racer number 6, Alex Collins out of Greeley High School.
Now, do you know? Oh, and there we see somebody taking off again. I can actually I guess I can move this camera and get a better view of her streaking off across the football field. Now, I don't know if there is it's like the faster skiers go early or late, or if there's any rhyme nor reason.
I couldn't tell you on that. All I know is that they are going off in 15-second intervals. Beyond that, I don't know how they arrange them.
We do have a file of information.
I'm getting word that perhaps it's up to the coach on who goes.
Oh, yeah, so you may want to keep your better skiers at the end. You may want to get them early, maybe, depending.
A little, as they say, strategery in that.
And we do have a whole file of information here from Senior Coach Williamson.
And coming right up, the next racer out will be the first Levitt racer for today. Jaden Negley will be heading out as racer number 11.
Now that makes me think that they are sending faster racers out early, because I know that Jaden is one of the fastest girls.
And I probably know as little about cross-country skiing as anybody out here. I would think that the conditions are going to deteriorate pretty quickly today, based on the warm temperatures. And the track was soft before they even started.
Yeah, I think, what are we at, like high 30s? Have we hit 40 yet?
It was 40 when I left the house about 20 minutes ago.
We got another racer taking off. I have got a whole plethora of information on every team.
Oh, please share.
Like, for instance, Levitt's uniform, black with little white. Team song, Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons. We have 13 girls and 13 boys on the team.
That must make it lucky 13.
Yes, I guess we are. Too bad this race wasn't on the 13th.
Should have been better planned.
I am going to zoom in on something on the camera here. As you can see a racer. We get in. You may now be seeing on your screen a big old boot. That is the traveling LL Bean
boot. The Bootmobile.
The Bootmobile. As this is quite the event. Now, Mr. Shaw, have you ever gone to the Hornet Classic in previous years?
I've stopped by as things have been going on, and it's always quite a scene around here with all the schools and all the skiers. And I know they do the awards presentation at the end in the cafeteria, and the kids have always really appreciated that opportunity with it. I mean, they can just walk right in the side door there and take part in that.
There's some see some skiers line up, and of course this year the race has been renamed in order of state champion.
Two-time, back-to-back.
Back-to-back state champion Roy Varney, which I think definitely adds something extra to the race this year.
I would definitely agree with that.
And I feel like we've had even more. I don't know how many people have come in previous years, but there's a large crowd here today.
There's always a large crowd. When we're able to hold it, this is a well-attended event. Oftentimes, we're not able to hold it because we don't have the snow. So we're really lucky this year to have the opportunity to hold it.
That was number 21.
Sadie Skinner from Mount Ararat High School.
Now, I do know the top girl in the whole race. Do you see from Mount Blue?
I got some Mount Blue. What's the name you're looking for?
I'd have to see the name. Mount Blue has a girl who's the state champ from last year. But I may have to look at her name to know. So there hasn't been a Mount Blue girl out yet, has there?
Yes, we had Mount Blue. Emma Charles.
Yes, that's who it is, Emma Charles.
Yeah, she was bib number 13 today.
I would expect that Emma Charles is going to be hunting down and passing people. I saw her last year at KVACs, and she won by a substantial amount over minutes ahead of the second place challenger.
So do you have in your folder of information there, do you have some idea of how long it typically takes so that we're not watching starters as finishers are coming in?
That is going to need to be something that we're going to figure out.
Okay.
But I do know that from where we're standing, actually, if you look that way, can you see people come out of the woods?
I don't know. I'm tangled by cord here.
We may have to use Wanda.
Yes, I'll be able to see him come out of the woods.
Once we can do that, I think it's going to be time for us to switch. Cameras, at least.
Because I would imagine that perhaps we will still have starters going out when our finishers are coming in.
We also have...
Our next Levitt racer will be coming up shortly. Ava Petrin will be heading out. She just left the start gate.
Ava's streaking out across the field.
Heading off the football field and onto the center field of the baseball field before heading into the woods.
Yeah, so they do like a lap around the baseball field, then they go in the woods. Of course, the part that we really wanted to be able to film was Hornet Hill.
Where they potentially crash.
Yes, the crash zone.
The NASCAR zone.
Yes, and I know that would have been what our viewers would most want to see. However, we do not have the technological range on our cameras to get out there. There's a taking off go. We're getting some information here from. Now I have. We can also switch. We do have some other cameras available. I don't know. This is a shot of the course and a fence.
Oh, there you go. We're running a little short staffed today.
Yes.
I think you could call it the skeleton crew of Buzz Media.
Yeah, and short staffed with probably the most difficult thing we've had to film since.
It's a substantial area to cover.
Yes, the race is all over the place.
I think maybe I lost a pair of gloves, but that's all right.
Meanwhile, we still had more fun Levitt facts that I didn't get to yet. And then we've got facts on every team. So Williamson did really provide us with a lot of quality information. Oh, and there we have the course. We should put that in front of the camera. I have a question. Can you hold that in front of that other camera so we get, sometimes we're just piecing technology together.
We're learning. We're still new at Buzz Media.
Yes. Nope, it's not zoomed in enough.
And we got racer number 35, Allie Johnson from Camden Hills, heading out across the field.
If you can get your phone closer to the camera there. And it's a little hard to see, but that is the course today. A little reflection on there. So they're going to be heading out across the middle school field into the woods, Hornet Hill.
I think we have our first racer coming out of the woods, Mr. Davis.
Oh, so we...
Up on the back side of the track.
We should then... actually, can we get that camera to catch maybe a racer coming out of the woods? Also some wind.
Well, we have some Levitt Boy skiers coming up to check out the Buzz Media.
And we can get, all right, so we're going to get Eli Bell in here to ask him some questions. No. All right.
That's what Eli gets for being the first one through the door.
All right, Eli, we have a few questions for you. Question one, how many laps do they do?
It's a 2-lapper today.
Okay.
The Levitt course is 2.5 Ks, and it's a 5K race, so you do it twice.
So the people that we just saw come out of the woods, they're still
they're going to come down through the field and then go back into the woods.
And is it the same exact course, 2 laps? It's obviously they're not doing this part, so.
Yeah, except for this little loop in the field.
They will go back out, do another lap around the middle school field out there, and then back into the woods. All right, what is the most difficult part of the course?
Really, it's a pretty flat course, but I'd have to say the corner at the bottom of Hornet Hill.
That's where we're going to see the collisions.
Yeah.
Collisions and the crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a lot of avoiding other people that have crashed as you get to the bottom? Do you get pileups, like the 4 or 5 ski?
I don't think there's going to be pileups because the conditions are pretty slushy, so you can turn pretty good.
Okay.
On an icy day, though, it'd be really bad.
Oh, so there are some pileups sometimes.
Yep.
Where you get a few people piled in together.
Yep.
Mr. Shaw, while we have an actual skier here, any questions we want to ask?
Any special prep today for the skis with the warm snow conditions?
So today it's really difficult to get good kick because it's so warm, and we use Clister, which is like this toothpaste-looking
That's
stuff.
hardcore wax, if I
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
from my limited ski knowledge.
Yeah, it's no fun at all to take care of. It it sucks really.
And you're going to be, or do you do anything different? Your race conditions are going to be worse than the girls' race, correct?
Yeah, so there's 140 something girls, so that's gonna really mess up the course. Hopefully, though, with like the time between the races, it'll improve some. People might go out and shovel and stuff like that.
Oh, we got a race out on the back field. Levitt ski racer Jade Negley is going to be catching the girl in front of her.
I don't know.
Got a really smooth form going across the field hockey field there.
The zoom's not working on that camera. Is it plugged in? A little wire. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Actually, let's get one of the skiers on here to tell us about Emma Charles. Is that who is catching? All right, Eli, you're back on here. Tell us about Emma Charles.
So Emma Charles,
Mount Blue,
yep, notoriously a powerhouse team. Always really good. She is a freshman. No, sophomore now. Last year, though, she won states as a freshman, which is pretty crazy.
And she won by a lot. Is that correct?
Yep.
So she's going to be one of the best skiers obviously the best in the state. And
yeah, you can expect a lot from her for sure.
Would she beat you in the race?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I get girled every time.
I get girled every time. That's a good honest answer.
How high would she finish in the boys' race?
Probably not top 10.
But right.
Well, definitely not top 10, but
not far back.
High up there.
High up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the powerhouse. Now she's only a couple spots behind Negley today. I think Negley was 11. She's 13. So Negley's got to be worried about Charles coming up behind her.
I would expect that's on Jaden's mind for sure.
And Jaden also is a top skier.
Yes, Jaden has done really, really well in the past. She has suffered some injuries, though.
Yeah, so hurt her training this year.
Her stamina may not be as good as it was last year.
She has been in the fitness and weight room on a regular basis, though, even though she's been out of her typical routine.
Yeah, she can't do the running, so she hasn't been able to do that cardio, and she's just been trying to make it up with every other kind of workout she can get. Can you tell us some rundown, Eli, on the team standings today? Where does Levitt stand? Do you know? We get a shot to win this thing. As we see some
it's
girls
a really
going
tough call. We have the competition is really good. I don't think we could win, honestly, but I don't know. We'll see.
See what you can do.
Yep.
All right.
What's the hardest part for you, Eli, as you get in the race? For me, I think it would be really hard as I'm watching the girls here stand in line. If I'm racer 139 and I'm waiting back there to get my chance to go out, it's going to be a little nerve-wracking.
It is. I don't know. It's a really weird feeling. Like, a lot of people are really hyped up. But for me, I can be, super ready for the race, but I'm, tired. I yawn. It's really weird.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is, but...
If you're yawning and stuff, do you find that's actually a good or a bad sign?
Well, I've kind of learned that, it's just what I do before races. It's weird.
It's fine. It doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
So there are some races that start, everybody starts at the same time. Is that true? Or do they more often than not they start like this?
Most races are interval start, which is what we have today. The smaller races are often mass starts, though. So, a lot of school-hosted races, they either don't have the equipment or not enough people are there to make it worth it. So,
mass start sounds more fun.
It's pretty rough.
You gotta fight. You gotta.
I'm gonna stick with the NASCAR theme here. It's like a restart with 2 laps to go. You know.
Yeah, it's
Rubbin
really
is
rough.
racing, I believe, is the.
Every team has their own lane and stuff, but there's a double pole start, and sometimes when they come out of the double pole zone and try and skate, it gets really congested and things break.
Yep.
Bindings
I can
always
see
break.
that.
Yep. Most teams will have like an assistant coach
So-
out after the double pull zone with extra poles
Oh,
because
yeah, ready to throw you
people
a
break
pole.
them.
We are seeing ski action coming from that other camera over there, but we are not providing you great commentary because we don't necessarily know who they are that are going by.
It's hard to tell when they're. Our best opportunity is to tell you when they leave, and we just had ski racer 65 and 66.
Out of how many?
Annalise, out of 139, we're approaching the halfway point in regards to the girls' race.
Now, how long? What time would you expect roughly for finishing?
I would say for a boys race, within the range of 15 minutes.
Okay,
It's
is the
just like
top.
the
Okay.
average. Girls, the top skiers will definitely be there.
So
I don't know what the conditions and like
right.
every race is different, and you can have the same course every time,
And the
but
times are
conditions
going to be
play
way
such.
different. I would imagine slower today because it's a little soft,
Yeah, but also today's a really flat course.
Yep.
So
so that helps.
So I'm hearing some cowbells as the races are starting to take off. This is something that I think my wife could get into. She's a big cowbell fan, particularly at football games and the occasional baseball game.
yeah, cowbells are kind of a classic Nordic skiing thing.
It's something you hear regularly on like Olympic races or whatever. You get the cowbells in the back.
Yep. Another thing is the trumpet, like
Oh,
blowhorns.
yes.
Those are pretty crazy.
Now, did you? I want to ask you one more thing while you got here, Eli. So it looked like the race might not happen this week, and your dad was one of the people that came to the rescue.
Yeah. So we stole an old lady's snowblower.
Wow.
Yep.
This is being recorded.
Breaking
just so you know.
news on Buzz Media.
Yep.
And
Yeah. So we used the snowblower to really pile up as much snow as we could on the existing trails, and then a lot of shovel work came into play to make this happen.
nice. So were you guys out there shoveling too?
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of people involved in getting snow on the track this week.
There's probably 25 kids and parents out here.
Now-
and with shovels and rakes.
Now, can you guys that are over there tell, are we close to people? So if it's now been 17 minutes since the race, since we went on, but actually, yeah, since the race started.
I would expect that one of our first races will be coming back shortly. It's hard to tell at this point, but I'm going to speculate a little bit that the people along the side over there know who the first racer is, so when she comes out of the woods, it's going to get a little noisy.
Yes, and that is when, all right, so we're going to.
One thing with the 2-lap course, it's very hard to keep track of like where you are, and you're passing kids that may have started 15 minutes behind you.
Right.
So it's a little trickier to like gauge how you're doing.
Now, do you know today, did the coaches put the fastest skiers at the start?
Generally that is what they do, but I know in states and KVACs and stuff
Yellow
like
shirt.
that, there's a lot of different techniques that coaches do. Last year, Roy started actually quite a few people back
So you could
because
pass
it's
some
kind of
people?
like a booster. Oh, I'm passing all these people,
Yes.
gets you going. But also, if it's like a narrow course, it's hard to pass people. So-
Okay, so then you would want your fastest people
Yep.
in the front.
I do think we have have our first finishers coming up here relatively quickly.
It appears that Jaden Egley is coming back for her finish.
Oh, there it is. We have it right on camera. Now, does she, at this point, what do? They have like a lot, they're kind of like a loop-de-loop around into the finish line?
They're going to finish right down here at this
Yep.
blue tent, I think.
They're like sneaking in.
Yep.
And it's also going to be tricky because you see the racer in front of you. She's obviously narrowed the gap with the girl in front of her, I would say. Oh, I guess she could have been passed. We don't know.
I'm looking for bib number
But you're
one.
also going against the time.
Yeah.
And you don't really know where
I got
you're at.
I got
as
racer,
your-
racer number 6, I
Yep.
believe, is going to be our first
One
finisher.
thing that I really struggle with is pacing myself.
Oh, yeah.
Like
So you go up too hard?
The runners, they can do it. Like if you run cross country, they get coached with that. I really just go out
13. That's
and see what it is.
So we are
Alex
getting.
Hawksley is coming through.
so it looks like Emma Charles came in second behind number 6, Alex Collins from Greeley.
Actually, I'm going to...
Should we move this over there?
Well, I don't know how far we can move because it's plugged in. But I can move this camera over there for sure. Maybe. If I can get out of here. And we can move a little bit this way. I can get a camera.
We are definitely testing the lengths of these cords, Mr. Davis.
And going back and forth here. That should get us. If somebody wants to get this one zoomed right on people finishing, Elliot, you're on it.
Oh.
Can you get it so you can see the people actually finishing on that camera? Or is the 10 in the way? You can't really get a good.
You can open that window too, fellas.
Oh yeah, you can just open the window. Then you don't have the window in the way. Meanwhile, I'll use this other. Here, Buzz Media, you really hear us live.
We problem solve live.
It's a combination. It's like you're getting the producing and the. Now this is a good finish. We could see it. I don't. You could go down there with that camera.
Like racer number
Yeah,
1
get
and
right
2.
down there, Elliot.
Races number 1 and 2 came in neck and neck there at the end.
So that means number 2 must have closed the gap. I guess you can tell by the order of their numbers.
Yeah. Whether they free pass.
I think the story of the race is told just beyond the finish line, where the racers just fall into the snow. Like that's a classic ski image.
Hopefully we get Elliot. We'll get some video of that down there. We could go interview her.
I'll go get her.
Yeah, go get her and bring her up. We now have a nice camera of the finish line coming in.
I'm working a little blind, Mr. Davis, so just let me know what people are looking at. So I'm not.
They're looking at the finish line. Like
Okay.
they actually are seeing the people come across. There
Excellent.
was number 12, it looked like finishing a minute ago there. But the number was kind of hard to see. And I believe Eli's heading down. We're going to get a post-race interview with Jaden in a minute. A little confusing to cheer, I would think, because you don't. I mean, obviously it's easy to cheer, but you don't really know.
I think it's one of those things where you get used to it. Like after you've done it 3 or 4 times, you get the hang of what's going on.
Yeah. I guess the numbers are nice too, because you can tell if you've moved up or moved down based on where your number is. Us up here in the booth, less sure about how things are going.
Looks like we have our next finisher coming in. It looks like racer number 8. Emily Kidd from
Oh, we have
Mount Abram High School.
right away, quick post-race interview. Still breathing hard, but that's actually great. Throw that right on. Jaden, how you feeling?
Very tired.
Yes, you sound very tired. How was the race out there?
It was good. I felt strong.
That's awesome.
The wax was good. It was slow and hot, but yeah.
But it was slow for everybody. So
Yeah,
the
it was
course
slow
was
for
just.
everyone, yeah.
Is it? Was it mushy out there, or?
Yeah, pretty much at the bottom of the hills.
Now the hills weren't. So there probably weren't too many people crashing
No.
because
no.
it really wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't too fast.
Wasn't too fast.
Yeah.
So how many girls did you pass during the race today?
I don't know. It's hard to
Hard to keep track. You're just in your zone.
maybe
Well, plus you're passing people from that are on
maybe
different lap.
5 or
What number
6.
did you start?
11th.
11, and you came in what, third, fifth, somewhere in there?
I'm not sure,
Somewhere in
actually.
there.
So,
So,
you don't know
pretty
anymore.
good race.
We were saying we don't know, but you don't
I
necessarily
can't.
know
What's
either.
as you're going through the track and you're doing the race, what's the etiquette for the pass? Do you say anything, or do you just blow by them?
You yell track, and they're supposed to move, unless
Okay.
it's a race where they don't have to move. But today you would yell track, and they'd get out of the track for you to go by, and then
Okay.
they could get back in.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Now, what if somebody yells track, but you're like, you're not passing me? Can you speed
Then-
up? Like,
You better kick it
If
in,
somebody
right?
else tracks you,
if someone yells track to you, but you're
Yeah.
like, I'm not getting out of your way. I'm just gonna go faster.
well,
Can you
it's
do that?
polite to do it. But races that you don't have to, you can just stay there.
You just stay, and then
Yeah.
they have to go
They
out.
have to go around you, yeah.
Which must be difficult to jump the track and keep your momentum and then get
yeah,
back
you
in.
slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Now, you must also be passing a lot of people that are on a different lap than you.
Yeah, I passed a few that were on.
They're like, you're getting people from the other race.
Yeah.
So, now you've had a tough cross-country season and everything with the knee injury.
Yeah.
Did it feel good to just
Yeah.
get out there and go fast?
It did. So for my training, I couldn't use my knee, so I had to double pole roller ski a lot.
Mhm.
So when it's a lot of double poling like today, I'm at an advantage because I'm stronger in that than skate.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. So that's good.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The advantage of your knee injury. There should be
Silver
some
linings.
advantage.
Got to find some silver linings somewhere.
Yeah.
How you feeling now? You look like you've recovered a little bit while we're talking.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty good.
And when will you be able to find out your finish? Do you?
Yeah, Ava!
Oh,
Woo!
here's Ava
That's
finishing.
Ava coming in.
There is live timing. There is live timing on the main high school skiing.
Oh, and so you can go on there right away and see how you did.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But since it's an interval start, somebody who started way behind me might have had a faster time, even
Right.
though I didn't place
Yep.
ahead of them.
Did you? We asked Eli this as well, but it seems like most of the top girls were in the front today,
For the most part, I think so. Yeah.
or at least somewhat like.
Yeah, like Emma Charles started behind me, and she passed me. So some faster girls start behind some
Right.
slower girls, but
Emma Charles is impressive, huh?
she's very impressive.
You must have known she
Very
was coming.
impressive. Yeah, I knew she was starting 30 seconds behind me, and I knew she passed me before I even got in the woods. So,
No.
yeah, but I stayed inside her for the whole race, which was
Oh,
I
that's
was
good.
pretty happy about.
Yeah, it kind of gives you something to motivate and keep you
Yeah,
moving.
yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, maybe we can get Ava up here, Eli. Eli's just our runner to get interviews now.
That's true.
That was
We're
great.
keeping him warm before the boys race.
Yes, keep him ready to
Oh,
go.
yeah.
What's your post race? Like, you gonna go
Um,
stretch or anything, or are you?
I'll stretch probably a little later. I have to go do a cool down at some point.
Yeah.
Get the lactic acid out of my muscles. But
Very scientific.
just drink water and eat food.
Yes. And then you can come back and do some commentary for the boys race.
I can.
All right,
Absolutely. 'Cause
excellent.
I'm going to have to leave right just after it starts, so there's going to be an open mic.
All right,
Alright.
excellent.
Okay.
Thanks. I'll let you go cool down. Thanks,
Thank
Jade.
you.
It's good, Mr. Shaw. I don't know if you even knew you were going to be doing Buzz
I
Media
didn't know.
today.
This was a last minute decision here.
That was great to see Jaden have a good race.
Yeah.
I know she had a frustrating season. She's had a hard
She
time
was-
figuring out what exactly is wrong
She
with
was
her
very
knee.
frustrated. I've talked to her a few times as she was working out in the hallway down by the weight room and just kind of lamenting the fact she was stuck doing what she was doing.
We are getting another camera angle here from Jade. Jade Haylock is out there filming for us. And I think we've got... Nope. I thought that might have been... I thought that might have been Ava right there coming up the stairs. Even though it's a little chaotic, there's a lot going on once the race gets started.
It is
There's
ve-
still
yes.
constantly people
There's
finishing.
lots of things going on. It's busy all over the place.
There's still people taking off while we have people finishing all over the place. Let's see if Eli was successful, and he was.
Oh, another guest speaker.
No,
Oh.
we want you actually. The breathing hard actually it plays up good for the audience. They like the. It shows that you worked hard, that you can't breathe.
All right, fair enough.
And Ava, how you feeling?
Pretty tired. The conditions were a little slow and a little soft, but it was overall a really good race, I think.
Awesome.
A lot of people are having fun, it seems like.
Did you, so slow conditions, did you feel like you had a good race?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, everyone looks pretty strong regardless. I think everyone's kind of like pushing through it all, like all these like extra factors and like the honor of Roy. Everyone seems to be pretty amped up about it.
Right.
We haven't even talked that much about that yet. You must have been thinking about Roy today.
Oh, yeah, of course, all day. I mean, every day, but like today especially leading up to it. We had a huge shoveling party and just the whole essence of him was there with us.
Anytime you put shoveling and party together, that's you got to really want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And
we
I
was
can-
like 7. It was awesome, though.
It's hard to not picture how loud Roy would be at an event such
Oh,
as that.
my gosh. We could just hear his screams in the distance. And
Yeah, you always knew when Roy was within,
anywhere on the trail, honestly.
Anywhere on the trail,
Anywhere.
really. Yeah. Yeah, and you know he'd be out here a lot today. And
Oh, yeah, for sure.
so slow conditions, but you felt pretty good?
Yeah, I felt pretty good about it. Seems like everyone's kind of finishing strong, so.
Now,
That sounds fun.
is classic more your style, or do you prefer?
No, I prefer skate.
So then, based on that, how do you feel like you did today?
I don't know. We don't really have many classic races, so it's kind of hard to see where you stack up against, but I think pretty good. We've been working on it a lot at Fort Kent, but I think we did pretty good.
So what do you think about it's not very often you can race in short sleeves at a ski race, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a pretty rare occasion.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little bit different of a mindset when you get out there, and it's not like, 20 degrees with the wind blowing across your face.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely is.
Do you worry about crashing a lot when you're in the woods on a normal day?
On a normal day, it depends on what course it is. So we have a really sharp corner here. It also just depends a lot on the snow conditions. So today it wasn't too bad because we had people raking and it was pretty soft. But when it's icy, it can be kind of scary. And
Right.
it depends on like how narrow the trails are.
Yeah, we were talking about Buzz Media wanting to have a camera there because we
Oh my gosh.
thought the crowd likes, the audience likes the accidents. But so
Oh,
we're
yeah.
not really missing out today. There's probably not going to be a lot of falls there.
No, I don't think there were as many at all. But definitely put a camera out there.
What kind
It's
of
icy.
what kind of discussion was it? I'm just speculating a little bit that Coach Williamson had some words of wisdom before the race started today. Like how did that play out this morning?
So it was kind of chaotic. So he was mainly like waxing because like our first coat didn't work, but then our second coat was pretty good. So in preparation of this, we made these headbands
Yep.
and we had like these hair
Nice.
ribbons and we wrote our favorite quotes by him on our arms that he said to us. So like we kind of hyped each other up and Williamson really like pushed us to like be very like supportive of other racers as well as like just realizing that like we're not the only ones affected by it.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
and Roy definitely was somebody that obviously the impact on Levitt, but skiers from everywhere knew Roy.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
During track season, he was always getting shout outs
Yeah.
and yells from random teams from other places.
Oh yeah, of course.
Loud Roy yells.
Yes, of course.
All right, Ava, we'll let you go do your post-race
Cool down.
cool down.
Move on to your next interview.
Yes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but you can also come back up here for the boys' race. We'll have some time.
I definitely, yeah, I think I'll do that.
All right.
Excited to see how that turns out.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Meanwhile, we still have people finishing all over the place.
Finishing is still starting, I think. I don't know what
Oh,
number
yeah,
we're
I
up
think
to
they are.
on the start side.
What number are we up to starting?
This might be the last racer. It looks like racer 140 heading out right now. Although I don't think 140 is on our list.
Late edition. How many races were on the list?
139.
139.
Yeah.
So yes. So this is
Yeah.
the
There's a
bonus
late edition.
bonus mystery 140 too. We have no name on her. Rufino, yeah, let's hop on here.
Showed up in slippers.
Rufino.
This is the classic ski race attire. Sweatpants and slippers and the UNH pullover.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we were discussing earlier with some people the difference between sneakers and boots for the race today, but nobody
Slippers didn't even make the
that did
conversation.
not come up, so that's impressive.
slippers are always comfortable. So.
Rufino, did you just get here?
Yeah. Well, actually, I was walking around for 5 minutes because I didn't know where you guys were.
Oh, okay.
Searching for the Buzz Media booth.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna let you two do commentary for a minute while I go check on some things.
Okay, we can handle it. I'll slide over and Rufino can slide up. So, Rufino, just to get you up to speed where we're at, the last racer just went out.
Yeah.
The finish line we got right over here. There's a blue tent right over here. They're finishing right here in front. Yeah. We've had a couple of guest commentators come in after the race. Ava just left talking about her race. Lots going on around here.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the boys race. I think the boys race has got a scheduled start of 11:30 today. And that we'll have, if I can find the right information here, we've got 160 skiers on tap for the boys race. So that's that'll be a long thing to get going there, 15-second intervals.
Yeah.
What do you think is the key to the Nordic race? What experience do you have with the cross country skiing?
I did it in middle school.
Okay.
So technique is definitely like a lot of it, because like when I did it, I would just use my arms.
Yep.
And that was not effective. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of technique.
We had a couple of Eli Bell was up earlier, and he was talking about that, and so were a couple of the other skiers, that there was a lot of polling today because of, hey, Alex is here. Oh, come grab a headset. Straight off the track. Alex, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So how'd your race go today?
I felt pretty good.
Yeah?
Did pretty good up the hills and in the woods.
How were the conditions when you got out in the woods?
It's pretty slushy everywhere, but the fields were worse. It's a lot hotter out on the fields
Okay.
with the wind.
In the sun and whatnot? Okay,
Yep.
nice. Everybody seems to be seeing there's a lot of polling today because it's so warm.
Oh yeah, double pulling through the fields is really the best way to get around.
How did you feel you were prepared for that as you started today?
Pretty good. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just went for it.
You do what you got to do.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Were you able to? How did you like your finish? Like I don't have your bib number in front of you. What number were you today?
I was number 40 on my bib.
Okay. Were you able to get past anybody while you were out there? Or?
I think so. I think I'd be.
That's the. And I've asked everybody that question because that I think for me that would be the weirdest thing to try to have to pass somebody with the tracks, right? It'd be weird
You
to do.
just say track and people usually move out.
Okay. Cool. Any thoughts or predictions on the boys race coming up next?
It's going to be pretty slushy. It's going to be warm. It's going to be a lot of double pulling.
Do you know from the boys' side any of the key racers that we should keep our eyes out for?
Oh God. Everett, definitely.
Yeah?
I think Ethan Livingoods.
Okay.
I don't know if it's his brother or not. One of them. I don't. Ava Petrin would be a better person to ask.
Okay.
For that.
Well,
But,
she'll be back. She'll be coming back for the boys' race as well.
Yeah, Liam Niles would definitely be good. Mark D'Alessandro. I know. The top.
The top
people.
So it
Front
looks like the top page is probably the best of the
Yes.
best of the teams.
Yes.
That makes sense. And there's a lot of schools here today. Of the
17?
schools here today, other than us, we have a deep tradition of doing well in Nordic skiing.
Yes.
Who else do you think would be at the top of the traditional strong team?
For schools?
Yeah.
Mount Blue, Marina Cook's pretty good. What else is there?
We got Orono and Camden and.
Yep.
I'm guessing perhaps Gould Academy probably has a pretty good team.
Gould
yeah.
They're good. Yeah.
Well, Alex, we're going to let you get off to your cool down routine or whatever you have that goes on. But by all means, come back and check in as the morning goes on. Rufino, do you have any questions for Alex while she's here with us? No. All right. Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alex. We're doing a little producing here in the back. Oh, racer number 75. Now she looks tired. That racer looks tired. Oh, we just had a racer fall here close to the finish line. She got jumped right back up. Racer number 74. Ellie Denning. Yeah. She did. Fell right by the crowd. We're gonna get Rufino to jump out for just a second.
We have a few updates here.
Now you're not wearing slippers. You have boots on.
I do have boots
See,
on.
Rufino has slippers on. We got the boots. We got the sneakers. We're well represented on footwear today.
This is Mackenzie Varney
Hello?
here with the interview. And before we get to you, Mackenzie, I just want to, I don't know if you already heard this update, our viewers. Jaden Negley's in second place.
I thought she had a pretty strong finish when she came in.
So she is about a minute back of Emma Charles.
Okay.
But currently is in second, and that's a great showing for her.
I would expect that to hold based on my limited knowledge of what I have for running order and the conditions of the track continuing to deteriorate. I don't think anybody's going to beat her time.
That's awesome. So, like last year, this would be kind of what you'd expect from her, but I know with her injury, it's been sort of unknown in her mind even of how impressive she would be. So that's great. Mackenzie, do you have any welcome?
Thank you.
Now, Mackenzie, you have had experience actually racing
I have, yes.
this race.
Yep.
How would you feel about these conditions today?
Not great.
Not great, right? Yeah.
Yeah, as you were saying, it does completely deteriorate the further you get into the girls' race. So I'm glad people are out there with shovels right now.
Yeah.
Especially on that corner. My
I'm
goodness.
going to back up, though, and say earlier in the week, conditions right now were supposed to be pouring rain. So
Yes.
this is way better than what we had
That's
thought
what a few
maybe
coaches have said
Monday
to
or
me.
Tuesday. It did not look good.
Yeah.
So how, as you went, now I was saying earlier, we don't get to hold the race every year because we don't have the snow for it. So as you were going through, were we able to hold all four of them when you were here in school, or did we have to cancel a couple?
I honestly do
Don't
not remember.
Yeah. It's almost like 50-50 really on the Hornet Classic.
A couple of them we did have somewhere else because we were like Hornet Classic at another school.
Now, what are your thoughts on crashing when you were a racer? Were you
On
afraid of it,
crashing?
or were you like all in? I feel like you Varney kids would just be like, bring it.
Hit a tree, like, let's go.
Yeah.
Tree falls over, keep going.
If you're going to fall, you're going to fall. So you got to get back up really quickly. That's
Right.
what it is to stay like in the mindset of a race. So, yeah.
And, you know, it just means your competitors might fall too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's not just you.
Ready to crash and race. Now, your sister is helping coach this year?
She is. Yep, Natasha.
So she our assistant coach?
She is the assistant coach for Levitt right now.
I guess I just didn't know
She's
that.
pretty
I'm
awesome.
sure the viewers knew that, and clearly Mr. Shaw.
Yeah.
knew that. I think I was the only one here. I was like, I think that, but I wasn't sure.
A couple of Varneys included today.
Yeah, there's Varneys all around. And great to have the race named for your brother.
That was incredible to hear, yeah.
You can just kind of feel his. I could think about how loud he would be here today. I was thinking about that driving in.
You keep saying how loud he'd be here, but it's just everywhere. On any given day.
Everywhere.
Right?
In my mind, I could picture him telling me, Davis! And then just, breaking down the race for me, telling me
here's
what's
what's
going to
happening.
happen, stopping by my room.
Full of knowledge.
Full of knowledge, full of just, energy.
Yeah.
Dropping knowledge, whatever it may be.
Yes.
Outside commentary there. Bell.
Yeah, Eli Bell from off camera. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty cool that's going to continue on.
Yeah. It's really nice that
Thursday.
we can be involved, too. I know my mom put together quite a few, gift things for the winners. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was just going to ask, was Mom or Dad able to come over this morning?
My mom is here. She's right at the finish line.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
she's here with my aunt.
Excellent. And Everett, obviously.
Oh, there she is.
We'll be getting ready to race
Racing today, yep.
this afternoon.
The tall man.
Do we know where Everett? Well, I guess we could look at that start
He was
time.
just up here a minute ago.
Oh, he was?
Well, he poked his face in and then walked down the stairs.
And then was gone. He
Yep.
actually starts in 11th.
11th. Ooh, all right. That's good.
Isn't that what number? That's what number?
Negley was, right?
Yeah, right.
So we have that's our spot.
That
We
could
get
be our
the-
spot.
Yeah, he preferred to go earlier rather than later. He didn't like starting.
No, I bet
I think they
not.
put him last in one of the last races. And yeah.
They put Everett last?
I think they put him near last, and he was just not happy about it.
Not a fan.
I love it, but
You like being
mentalities.
last?
Yeah, because you
Because
just get to pass people.
Yeah,
Like,
and
no one's
nobody's gonna
passing
pass
you. Exactly.
That makes
Oh,
sense.
that makes
It's a
that makes
great
perfect
mentality.
sense.
Oh,
Now, Mackenzie, there is a sort of a pro-am open race this afternoon. Are you going to be in that?
I am not. I just heard about it today, so I don't
This
have
is new.
anything necessary.
What do we got going on? Like
They-
an invitational after
There's
the.
an invitational to
Alumni race or
anyone who wants to race.
Wow! All
And
right,
it is
exciting.
it's a mass start.
something. I guess
I heard
like.
I heard it's a mass start
Yeah, maybe I'll
race
run alongside him.
for anyone. You could probably go get some skis and just do it.
Running or skiing, I would tell you both to just dial 911 now because you're going to need them before I'm done.
I skied yesterday or a couple days ago with my friend. We came here and did the trails,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's not as athletic as I was. It's very interested to see how winded you become after a minute or two.
You have not had Senior Williamson showing up at your house every day to get you.
That's yeah. Every morning at 6:30.
Do we? Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say.
That's one thing
Sometimes I
that
just talk.
I'm kind of figuring out as we go along here. It's hard to. We need to have a paper or a list of things to discuss. Like,
yeah. Well, actually, we do because we can always go back to this
Could have call-in questions.
thing, like, and we could actually turn it into a trivia game, I guess.
Always about the competition, Mr. Davis.
You also got the two of you here as we're waiting for people to finish. Falmouth, uniform colors. Any guess?
Blue, yellow, and white.
Oh, I am gonna have to deduct slightly. They're blue and white.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
I think they have a yellow accent color.
I think you were staring
in
straight
there-
at one when he asked the
in there
question.
somewhere?
I may have been. I don't know.
All right, that's fair. Brunswick's got a skier from Nebraska on the team. There's so many facts
That is a
on
lot of
this-
facts.
about Wayne Fleet.
Did they think you just needed to know this, or
I think Mr. Williamson's put together a packet of information so that he wouldn't run out of things to talk about.
Right.
oh,
So we
that's
have
so
this.
nice.
Yeah.
And it's just like things to say.
I was asked earlier, where is Wayne Fleet?
Wayne Fleet's Portland, correct?
Wayne Fleet's in Portland.
It's that Portland area, yeah.
Hold, I'm gonna leave you two for a second.
They have team favorite songs on here. That's incredible. Boys, so girls was 10, boys is
11:30.
11:30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
is that
boys
when
will
we
be
should be
starting
back
off at
out there?
11:30.
What time are we at right now? Okay, 10:48.
We got some time.
Start time 11:30.
You get pretty nervous calling the start girls because you never know. You're like, okay, so 1 through 20, and then all of a sudden they're gone. You're
Right.
like, oh.
Yeah. And it seems like we've never covered live one of the ski races, but initially I'm like, oh, 15 seconds, that's a little bit of time in between, but
It
it's
is
not a lot of time. So by the time you get the name announced of the person who's leaving, the other one's already halfway to where that person was. It was impossible to keep up with.
I'm very, very proud of Mark for being like that fast and
Yes.
that quick with keeping up
Who
with
is
it
that
all.
that's up there?
Mark Evans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't place the voice sounded familiar, but I couldn't place who it was. So
Yeah, he's
there you
usually
go.
doing the commentary up
Yep.
there. But we have so many more people this year than we did last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like went from 90 kids to 140
Yeah.
on each team.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of trip hazards up here around our production equipment.
We're gonna up our production level because we now just sent out Rafino with a camera.
Okay.
Hopefully to get
Excellent.
some good shots. Yep.
Are you good, Sammy?
He's just like
I don't know if he knows it.
he wants everybody to look at bright blue sky, sunny day.
Come on, bro, you gotta finish strong!
I don't know what they're talking about. So I'm gonna ask, with some experience as the ski person, what's
Yep.
this? What's this? What appears to be screen down here that people are looking at? Can you see
The
it?
screen, yeah, that's telling people their final times.
Oh, okay.
So it's
All right.
placing the students as they come in.
All right.
No, we could actually. You know what? I'm
Can
gonna
we cut to
go.
that? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my phone and get a shot of the times.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can just stream it right to this.
Fancy.
We have so many potential things we could do. We don't even know what they are yet.
Yeah. Miranda Cook coming in strong.
Yes. What's so let's say the conditions were like frozen solid today. What would be the difference in the technique going into that particular race?
Careful.
Careful.
Yeah, because you really, your tool bag when it's like incredibly icy is you just have to watch out because your skis will go everywhere all the time, especially when we don't have that groomed of a trail because everything's kind of melted to the side. Right. So you just have to stay where people in front of you were and stick there.
The idea of the classic race is to have the track, right? That you stay in that track the whole time. Yep. And that must just go away when it gets soft like this.
Yeah, in some places it completely is gone and you have to kind of find your own way, which is better for being coming out later in the race. Okay. Yeah, corners especially is hard because you also don't want to slip up and go into skate.
Yep. So let's go back to the idea of it being solid. Yep. If we got this looks to be like a hairpin turn out here on the end of the field, is there still a track there? Because I would think it would be hard to get the skis to go around the radius of the corner if the track was still there.
So that's a very, particular technique around sharp corners is you keep one ski in the track and you kind of veer out with your other one to push you around. Yep. So you take a couple quick steps and then you get right back in the track and
that
keep
makes
it up.
sense.
Yeah. Nice job, Mount Blue.
I've had a couple of the skiers say they had trouble with their wax today. Didn't want to go on the skis very well.
Yeah. Well, the temperature changed too.
Yes.
So I think there was a couple last moment decisions that.
Well, I was gonna ask. That must be almost just prior to the race. Like it's not something you could have done last night. Like you have to wait till.
Especially with Clister and things like that. Like you got to do it right when you do it.
Right when you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Davis is back.
I don't know if you saw the results on the screen there.
I can't see anything.
We had, Jaden 5 seconds ahead of the girl in third. So it looks like she's got second.
She's going to own second, I think.
Something Med, I believe, was in third. Where's our list of girls?
That's
right
awesome.
there. The one that's mostly crinkled.
Yeah, Emma Charles won by a significant amount, but Lucy Med from Portland was in third, 5 seconds behind Jaden.
Okay.
So, and then there were other people that finished in other places. That's names I have already forgotten.
It's good having Levitt kids up there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Emma Charles is a sophomore.
Wow.
Yeah. It is. I know that in the KVACs last year, Jaden came in second behind her.
Okay.
As well.
Yep.
Which is a little tough with being such a great skier, but then knowing that a girl who's only a freshman.
It makes for a rivalry, really, is what it does.
Yeah.
Looks like racer 127 coming in.
And we've had, now Mackenzie, who was the most dominant skier in the team when you were in high school?
For
girls or boys? I don't know if we had anybody. Oh, it was you.
Yeah.
Nice. What was your best finish?
I finished second in Classic at the Class A state meet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, did you know the girl who beat you?
I did not.
Okay, it wasn't like I didn't know if it was the same situation.
Roy was so good at this. He knew everyone. He knew their times.
Yes, he did.
I unfortunately did not pay the greatest attention to other people. So there was one girl I was very proud that I beat, and then that was it for that.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
So how did the girls' team do overall? Did you?
We did not win. I think my freshman year we won states, and then the other couple years we were third.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but Brooke and I were up there, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of who the other girls would have been. Like
Varney girls.
Yeah, Varney. Yeah, those Varneys have been dominating.
But I remember my earlier years, Maddie Wigman was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was an outstanding skier.
Yeah.
And there must have been some. Do we have any Dustin? Not Dustin. Harrison Knowlton.
Harrison for the boys team, yes.
Was
Jared Farrar.
Yep.
I think Josh Terrian was really good too.
Yep. Did Harrison win?
He did not. He also came in second.
He came in second as well. Okay.
We had a little bit of a twin race. But the same thing. The girl in front of me was like I think, a minute or so ahead of me, and everyone behind was like a couple seconds. So
Right.
So it's almost like having 2 winners, right? You got
yeah.
I like
this right here, right, and then everybody else.
Yeah, then there's a drop back. It almost makes you feel good. Like it's not like if you lose by 2 seconds, you're like, well, if I just did a little something.
That's why the end is the most important, because you got to get in the track and you just double pull for your life. Like, that's the end of it.
How did you feel at the end of a race?
So good.
You did.
I did, because that was the race I started last, so I was just passing people the entire time.
Now, what about when you're not having a great race? How do you feel at the end?
At the end,
Just happy
you
it's over?
don't
Glad it's
feel
over.
the best. But you can't get stuck in that mentality is the thing.
Right.
You got to be like, all right, next race will be fine.
Skiing is a lot about mentality, huh? As opposed to, like, it's different than...
Well, you're in your head like the whole time.
Right. It's not like
Exactly. It's just
basketball or
you.
it's some team sport where you're
Right.
directly competing against
Yep.
someone. It's more, where are you going to get at?
Exactly. It's very personal.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could say that for a lot of the, whether it's cross country running or running a marathon or whatever the case may
yeah.
be. Like you're there, and you better be good with yourself, because if you're not, it's gonna be a long day.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Now, at track, even though it's running, you break it up a little bit because there's a lot of times there's somebody right next to you.
Yeah.
And you're trying to push it, power ahead.
They're always with you. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like that with skiing. That's a really good technique sometimes, is just stay with someone you know is a little bit faster than you and just keep with them in their wind the whole time and then try to pass them at the end if you can.
So I have a story about your brothers, so Roy, when we would go out running for track, he was much faster than everybody else, and he loved to brag about how much he would win.
Sure, yep.
No matter what sort of little games. I always tried to come up with games, but he would always win. So one day we were doing these interval races, and I made him start, I pushed him back 100 yards when we said go, and I told Everett to go. I was like, Everett, go, go, go. And then I yelled go, and they had to race for 1 minute, and Roy was just burning up the road behind everyone. And finally, when I yelled stop, Everett was ahead of him by about 6 inches.
Yes.
Everett celebrated the whole rest of the day. And, of course, Roy's like, I started way behind. I'm like, that was the rules. That was the rules. Roy, you still
I
lost.
beat ya.
Everett won.
Gotta stick with the rules. That looks like Ruby Haylock coming in.
Nice. Maybe we can get Ruby up here.
With really open fields like this, you can get really in your head,
Yeah.
going back and forth in front of so many people. Like when you're in the woods, you're like, you're fine.
Right,
It's great,
just
go.
focus
But
on what you're doing.
specifically for people who thought like me, I was like, everyone is looking at me. Like, it's very nerve-wracking.
And now the conditions aren't a problem today, but what about when it's below zero?
Yeah.
We were just talking about solid ice,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't breathe that well.
Nope. Always underprepared, not wearing enough layers.
Would you rather be hot or cold in a race?
I would rather be cold because you can put on more.
Right.
I'm with you on that.
Hot, you get to a part where you can't do anything about
Yeah,
it.
your body just starts to
Yeah, that's it.
feel the same way. And as we are,
Maybe we can get Margot in here.
Margot to jump on.
Come jump on. We'll
Margot,
talk a little. We'll talk a little
for
indoor
you.
track.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. We have Margot Kenyon. How's it going, Margot?
Pretty good. How are you?
Yeah.
Great. So we were just talking a little bit of technique here with the ski race, and staying with somebody and then passing him at the end, and immediately thought to myself, I've seen Margot do that when she's running on the track.
Yeah. Pacing off of other people is kind of a tactic that I use too. Drafting behind someone typically helps. I don't know. I think the same applies for skiing. I skied last year before I switched schools.
Yep.
And yeah, it's definitely kind of the same thing as running.
We had a race. I think it was the Orno race when we had the track meet up there, and you were coming around on the. It might have been a 2 mile. I don't remember. Coming around on the last. They just got ready to ring the bell for the last lap, and you were shoulder to shoulder with this girl that was next to you. I think she was feeling pretty good about herself, and then all of a sudden the bell goes off, and there was a separation between you and her of 30 yards, and her race was over, and it just deflated the racer that was running next to you.
But the strategy's tricky because would you rather be chased or the chaser?
I would rather be the chaser because definitely, like, if you're not sure about your own pacing, if the person has more experience running than you, it definitely helps. At least it helps me. And you kind of save it till the end. If your goal is just to beat that person,
right,
then it does work to stay right behind them. But then if you're in the front, it's kind of hard to know what you're running for times.
Yep.
Now, this year, though, you're one of the top racers in indoor that you're going against. So do you feel like other girls are doing that to you?
Doing what?
Chasing you. Like, do you know people?
Yeah, for sure. We had a meet 2 days ago at USM, and I had some girls ask me what events I was running. And they're like, oh, that's too bad. I was planning on pacing off of you today. And I was like, oh, that kind of makes me nervous. But I feel like it's definitely the same in skiing. Last year, like, I've always had a bad habit of looking up other girls' times to see how close I'll be to them.
That's just prep work. That's not a bad habit. That's just being ready to go. What do you think? What's your favorite event in the indoor track?
It's always been the 800, but then this year I've been doing the mile, and I really like the mile now. The mile's definitely growing on me. I don't know. The mile, the 2 mile, and 8 are probably my favorite, but I think the mile's the most fun.
Okay.
Now, they don't do relays on indoor.
We don't do the 4x4. We do the 4x2 and a 4x8.
Oh, okay.
But we don't have enough girls for 4x8 in indoor.
So, but when we get back to outdoor, how do you like doing relays versus doing individual events?
Relays are definitely more fun. They're less stressful to me because it's like a team dynamic.
Right, it's less about you personally, and it's more just where are we at.
And I feel like a lot of runners feel the same way. Like, I've talked to Aaron, Ryan, and Ava about it, and we all like doing the relay a lot more.
Now, a lot of the girls you're going to be relaying with are out here skiing.
Yeah, I know. I miss running with them. I was talking to Ava about that the other day. Like, I can't wait to get back out there and train with her.
Yeah, you're doing hardcore training, but you there's not many. Are there any other distance?
Just me and Aaron. We're the only ones
who
train for it. Maddie Springer does a little bit too. Yeah, we definitely don't get to run outside quite as much as outdoor. It's mainly inside on the bike and stuff. But I was really split this year between skiing and indoor because I did last year and all my friends do it in cross country.
Did you like it? Now, do you like an actual ski race?
It's pretty fun. It's nerve-wracking though. That's one thing I've definitely improved on this year is the nerves. I think I would have liked it more this year.
Mr. Davis, I'm going to step off for a minute. I got somebody who's jumping in.
All right. Yes, we got to get Elliot in here. Elliot, speaking of nerves, you are getting close to your, well, I guess you're further down the number, but the boys race is getting kicked off pretty soon.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Feeling okay. First classic meet of the season. Don't really know how well I'm going to do, but.
First classic meet of high school, right?
Yeah.
As a freshman?
Yeah, we've done, 2 races that have been skate so far. Then other than that, we haven't really done much.
So
do
what's
you
your
like skate or classic better?
Skate is faster. Classic is definitely comes down more to technique. But I prefer skate better just because it's faster. You get the flow of it more. It feels better when you get the flow down.
What's your strategy going into the race today? Is there a strategy?
Well,
you're going to be trying to catch the
try not to get too tired.
Trying to get too tired?
Yeah.
Are you worried about pacing yourself?
Not really. Just fast up the hills to gain some speed on the downhills.
That's the way to go.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah. And then you're going to be back up here for a post-game race, interview as well. You getting some film coverage there. How was the film coverage of the finish line?
Pretty good. You can see all the people that are just coming from different schools, from Portland. I think we might have some Yarmouth or Freiburg, whatever one.
Yeah, we have a lot of schools here today.
Yeah.
I think
Maranacook has a big team. Yeah.
I don't even know how many teams we have here.
I think they said like 17 teams.
17 teams. We've definitely got 140 girls.
40 girls.
We said we have over 300 racers total.
Yep.
Get the beam boot.
The boys goes all the way back to 161. Yeah, I know. We're gonna. I wish that the beam boot could come over here so we could get a closer. We get a distant shot of it, but we'll have to get the beam boot.
Games going on over there.
We'll have to get the beam boot filmed a little bit more.
I think they're kind of out of their league coming to meet like this. I don't know if I've ever seen a bean boot come this far.
I haven't either.
I don't know, Mr. Shaw. Do you believe this is the first time the bean boot has been on the grounds of Levitt Area High School?
I'm going to speculate and say yes.
First.
I'm unaware if it has been here in the past.
Yes. So unless it's coming like at night or in some sort of a secret sneak on, this is the first time the bean boot has been here. We'll have to get a good video.
Next year we gotta top this. This year we had the bean boot. Next we gotta have the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
The bean boot will be there. And you know what I'm thinking now for this boys race? I may send somebody to see if we can get whoever drives the bean boot for an interview on Buzz Media.
That would be a good interview.
They're busy playing bean boot toss.
Yeah.
Oh, there's bean boot toss over there?
That's the game I was talking about.
Oh. It's not as good as the bean boot that's in front of Albean.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't look quite as realistic, but
it's the bean boot's little brother.
All right, so the girls, do we get a number of some of these girls finishing? We've got to be getting close to the...
I think we are almost done.
Yeah. Especially since we're starting pretty soon.
Yeah, you've got about 20 minutes.
20 minutes there? I think what we might do is when we see that last girl come across, we may go off air for a few minutes and then kick back in for the start of the boys race.
I think we might get Coach to get out there, groom a little. So.
They're going to get a little grooming in between?
We think.
That's good.
Hopefully get some time for some hydration.
Actually, you know what? I'm thinking we might go off the air right now as the race wraps up. And apologies if you've been waiting for your skier to finish, but we might take a quick break, line up some interviews for the boys race.
Yeah, I think the only skier that we have coming in is...
Oh, do we have a Levitt skier out there?
I think we have one more. 134. Is that McKenzie?
Kenzie Cody.
There's only 140 racers.
So we can wait for Kenzie Cody's. She is, 134. Is that her coming at the line right now?
Think so.
There she is coming across.
That would be her.
There she is.
All right. Well, this has been the girls' race. We'll be back in just a little while here, about 20 minutes or so with the boys' race.